because the best option, of course, is to be here in the meeting, complete the whole thing together, and you can have full grade for the quiz, 20 points, 100%. The second best option is to access the video, the YouTube channel, and you also will be able to complete 100% of the quiz if you check the video and you have the bell work, the quiz, everything. The third option is if you don't have time for anything, you're overwhelmed, you can take a picture right now, take a picture of this or a screenshot, and you will be able to complete 50% of your quiz. And the more quizzes you submit, the better it's going to be for your grade. So take advantage and try to submit the most quizzes as possible. Okay, and now we move on. If you want to take a picture or a screenshot, and now let's work on the lecture. I will try to keep these lectures short because I think it's better to spend more time working together with you on the quiz. So real quick, let's go over the lecture and then we move on to the bell work and quiz. This whole month we will be working on polynomials. Yesterday we evaluated polynomials, which basically is the same thing as evaluating functions. If you have a polynomial function like this, and I ask you what's p of negative 3, evaluate p of negative 3, you have to make x equals negative 3, right? Make x equals negative 3 and plug into the function. You will find the result, and this is how we evaluate functions. It's pretty simple. It's the same way you will evaluate polynomial functions. The other thing that we have been talking every day is we are trying to add some knowledge and add more understanding about what is a polynomial, what is a polynomial function, and this is the next, what's the next slides about. And to add a little bit more about this knowledge on the polynomials, we remember how to check if a graph is a function or if it's not a function. Remember from last semester, we're talking about it, is the vertical line test. It means you have to draw here a vertical line, and if it intersects the graph in just one point, that means this is a function. So we have here a few examples. Those examples are functions, because the graph, if you try the vertical line test, the line will intersect the graph in only one point. That means for each x you only have one y. For each input you have only one output. This is the vertical line test. But the point is, those graphs here, they are functions, yes. If you try the vertical line test, they pass, that means they are functions, but they are not polynomial functions. No, they are not polynomial functions. To be a polynomial function, it needs to behave or look like this, the first graph. It needs to be continuous, it needs to be smooth, just like this. And well, this is something to add to our knowledge, to how to identify and to understand the polynomial functions are slightly different of any regular function. Okay? Yes, thank you, Iru. Moving on, this is a quick review about functions, about yesterday, and let me clear this up. Now we will work on an example. Today, let's see some applications of polynomial functions. And if you remember the last semester, when we're talking about functions, we're talking about applications in science, geometry, finance, banking, several applications, chemistry. The same thing, polynomial functions have the same wide range of applications. Let's understand one example here is a geometry application. The length of a rectangle is 4 meters less than 3 times the width. So we are talking here about geometry, and when we're working with geometry, it's always helpful to draw the geometric figure, and then we complete with all the informations that are available. The width is x, so let's say here this is the width, x, and the length, this is the length, is 4 meters less than 3 times the width. So the width is 3 times x minus 4. In a rectangle, the other side, this side is the same as that, right? So this means the width here is also x. And here at the bottom, the length is the same as on the top, 3x minus 4. We want to find the perimeter. We want to find the perimeter. And the perimeter is going to be a function of x. How do we find the perimeter of a rectangle? You can remember the formula. The formula is 2 times width plus 2 times the length. This is the formula. 2 times width plus 2 times the length. But if you don't remember the formula, you just can add all the sides. Add all the sides together. Put together all the sides. So we have here x. So add x plus. We have here 3x minus 4. 3x minus 4 plus another here x and another one 3x minus 4. See, this is how you calculate the perimeter, by adding all the sides together or using the formula. It's up to you. If you remember, you can use the formula. Next thing, combine like terms. This is an addition of polynomials, right? So you can combine like terms here, combine like terms there, and we also have some like terms, let's say here, -4 and -4. When we combine, we have p of x equals x plus 3x plus x plus 3x, 6x. -4 minus 4, -8. This is the answer. Let me know. Type now on the chat box if you have any questions. Very simple thing. Very straightforward application of polynomial functions. And we will work on more applications on the quiz. More examples, we can work together. Let me know right now if you have any particular question on this example here. If you don't like the way I solve, you can always check the slides, and I make it available the solution from the book, which is nicer, neat and clean. Maybe you find this one better to understand, because mine is a little bit messy. But anyways, if you don't have any questions or comments or complaints or anything at all, we can move on and practice together on the quiz. Agree? Okay? Before, as usual, let's try to solve this bell work. And today the bell work is about this guy here, that went to the shopping mall and started to buy lots of things. He has lots, he liked clothes, fancy clothes, and he bought this fancy hoodie and a pair of shoes. You spend a total of $150, but the hoodie costs $100 more than a pair of shoes. How much does the shoes cost? Only the shoes. I want you to send me a message here. So as you can see, the price, the total price X plus Y is 150, and the hoodie costs $100 more than a pair of shoes. X minus Y equals 100. The hoodie will cost $125, and the price of only the shoes is going to be $25. Moving on. This is just a game. Don't need to be upset. I know sometimes you're upset that you got the wrong answer, but don't be upset. It's just a game to warm up. And this, I always bring sometimes I bring a bell work with a tricky question. But the quiz don't have any tricky question. Only simple, straightforward questions, okay? On the quiz, no tricky questions at all. The first part, you have to add or subtract. And I think you remember how to do it, right? Let me show you. And let me see a subtraction here. I want to show a subtraction. And we have this quiz have a few subtractions here that are kind of mixed. Let me show letter D. And we have a subtraction. This is kind of a subtraction because have a negative sign in front of the parentheses. And here we have a subtraction. We have a negative sign in front of the brackets. To remove the parentheses or remove the brackets, first we need to change everything that's inside the parentheses or everything that's inside the brackets. You have to change into the opposite, right? So let's write down this one as the opposite, negative Q plus 2. And let's write down this whole thing here as the opposite, plus, and this is going to be negative 4. And this one is negative, becomes a positive. 2Q minus 3. And this is a positive 5, becomes a negative. Oh, again, you will. The parentheses and the brackets, they are kind of the same thing. They are grouping symbols. And you can use parentheses, you can use brackets, doesn't matter. Usually, when you have one grouping inside of the other, then you have parentheses inside and brackets outside. But you can use parentheses and parentheses inside and parentheses outside, doesn't matter. It's just to show, to make it clear that you have two groupings here. One outer grouping and one inner grouping. The way you're gonna work is first you get rid of one, can be the outer one, the inner one, and next you get rid of the other one. Okay, you do it step by step. So we got rid of the brackets, and we still have the ones inside the parentheses. But here we have a positive sign. And I think the brackets tells you that what to do first, right? Usually we start, you can start with the, I'm going to be honest, you can start with either one. You can start with either one. It's better to start from the outside to inside. But it's not going to, the final result is going to be the same. Okay, so now we have a positive sign in front of the parentheses, and we can just get rid of this parentheses. We don't need it anymore, because when we have a positive sign, this will not change, we'll keep the same, right? So we can get rid of this parentheses and just combine the like terms. Combined negative q with positive 2q, and this is going to be q, and combine positive 2 minus 4 with negative 3 minus 5. This is going to be minus 10. This is one example from the first part of the quiz. From the second part, we have a few word problems, and you have to combine, add, subtract polynomials, and evaluate. Let's work on letter H. Letter G is kind of the same as the example that we worked before, the rectangle. Yes, Jacob. That's right. Q minus 10. Perfect. Let's work on letter H here. The cost in dollars of producing X toy cars is C of X. So we have a polynomial function for the cost, and we have another polynomial function for the revenue. Here, polynomial function, for the cost, and polynomial function for the revenue. To calculate the profit, you have to subtract the cost from the revenue. So profit equals revenue minus cost. Now we substitute each by the polynomials. Is 5.98 x minus 2.2x plus 1. Okay? Check this out. This is a subtraction of polynomials. Remember? And we have to just keep the first one, repeat, and the second one we're going to change into the opposites. Minus 1. Now combine like terms. We have this like term and that, and we can combine is going to be equals 3.78x. Keep this minus 1. Well, this is the expression, the polynomial function that represents the profit. And the question here is, at the end you're going to see, find the profit if you produce 50 toy cars. And we're going to plug in this 50 here. We're going to make x equals 50. So P of 50 equals 3.78 times 50 minus 1. See? After you do the math, get your calculator and find out the answer, the result. Then you're gonna find that this is $188. And this is and just need to type the numbers on forms, okay, on Teams. Okay, we have 2 examples. Now we can work by ourselves. You can try to solve the other questions. I will check real quick the attendance, and after that we will get back and work together, okay? So give me a few seconds and we will be right back to work together and complete the whole quiz if you want.